Hello, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. You're watching Daily Dive. It is Monday, December 2nd, 2024. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis in Guyton, Georgia. Producer Joe is behind the scenes in Banditland, New York. We are live on 12 on Sports via Twitter/X and YouTube. Subscribe to 12 on Sports YouTube channel for other great shows and live sports. You're tuned in to Season 3. We hope you're ready because this thing's about to get going for real, for real. On today's awesome show, we're going to bring back a segment called Game Recaps where I go over all 5 games from opening/face-off weekend of the National Lacrosse League. Then we'll get into Dyson Williams and Brennan O'Neill. How good are they? We'll let you know. And of course, our 3 stars of the weekend. That should be a fun one. Before we get started, we want to let you know that this show is presented by tickets.12onsports.com. That's tickets.numbers12, letters OZ sports.com. Get your National Lacrosse League tickets for less by going to that website. They also have every sport and all your favorite artist concerts, not to mention Broadway and theater. Tickets.12onsports.com. Without further ado, it's time to get into game recaps, beginning with the Friday slate of games. On Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, the Ottawa Black Bears, in front of 6,995 fans in attendance, showed up and showed out and beat the snot out of the rock. I mean, there's no other way around that. Zach Higgins was good, but the Black Bears looked better on defense. On top of that, did Zach Higgins earn one of our 3 stars? We'll have to let you know. 38 saves did not help his case. For the Toronto Rock, for me, it was very concerning because Tom Schreiber was healthy but didn't really have a lot of offensive shifts, which is another reason why I think, like side tangent here, that there should be player minutes logged as a stat, but I know that's too much for the National Lacrosse League stat people to handle right now. I'm kidding. It's a low shot. But the point is, I didn't see a lot of Tom Schreiber. The Rock offense was very inconsistent, looked weird, and then to make it even worse, Latrell Harris looked like he tweaked his left knee at the end. They kept him out. It was like 9-5 or 10-5 when that happened, and hopefully he's okay. Haven't heard word about that, but the Rock were already banged up. Challen Rogers was out of this game. It didn't feel like a Rock game. Like, I made a tweet saying, like, I know the broadcasters were like, it seemed like they had to ignore the Panther City folding all weekend. It's no offense to them. But can we stop acting like this is a brand new team in Ottawa? This team beat a very unhealthy Rock team. And I'll get to that later on in the week, but it's like, stop. This is a relocation of the New York Riptide from Long Island, New York. That's what this is. It's a new team technically, but they're not a new team. They still have a lot of the same core stuff, same head coach, same GM, stuff like that. So I'm not buying into a Ottawa Black Bears just yet. The nightcap on Friday featured the Colorado Mammoth. And on Black Friday in the United States, the Colorado Mammoth had 10,200 plus people show up and show out. I loved it. I wrote on an article, the NLL Attendances article via 12onsports.blogspot.com. It was like it was better than their opening game last year. But the trick is the next 3 games after that, the Mammoth did not have a lot of people there. It was like under 10,000, and like 4 games later, they finally got back on the schneid. But for this game, Vancouver was controlling it early, and then Dylan Ward shut things down. And then the Colorado Mammoths came back against a Vancouver team, let's be real, is probably still a year away from being awesome. Aiden Walsh did well, but there was just, it felt like the Mammoth won a game they should have controlled from the get-go. They had to come back, I think it was like 7-1 It was the first of 2 comebacks on the weekend, by the way. But yeah, the Mammoth got the victory 11-7. And thankfully, they started the season well this time and not fall flat on their face. Then on Saturday, 2 games at 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll start off with the Rochester Nighthawks game because that offense is still cooking. Landon Kells. I don't know if it's Landon Kells. I don't know if it's the Desert Dogs defense. But that's becoming a question mark. Like, they got to get this thing going, man. Scoring 12 goals should keep you in a lot of games, not in the shootouts. And this game was 14-12. Rochester kind of kept them at arm's length the entire game. I think Las Vegas made it a game late, but then Rochester just kept on scoring late. It's like, at some point, you have to have an identity. In Las Vegas, it seems like to me, I don't know what theirs is. Some games, they're playing a slugfest. Some games, they're running it up on people. I don't know what to expect of this team. For Rochester, it was absolutely unfortunate that Rylan Hartley was out, and I believe is on IR again or whatever. It's not a great look. It doesn't feel good. I feel bad for this team. And David Brock, by the way, I mentioned on Friday that he was suspended for 1 game to start the season for his antics in Halifax. I think he signed with the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, so that was the game that he would have been a part of. He was not there. It could also be the Seals, but I believe it's the Desert Dogs. Next up was a thriller. Saskatchewan Rush had talked all weekend long all season long. They have got to be better. They've got to win big games. Albany, they didn't have much turnover. All they did was add Dyson Williams, who scored a goal and I believe had an assist in the game. But Frank Scigliano deserves our respect. On a game where the Rush needed to make a statement. I don't know if they needed to, but it's nice that they made a statement. This guy shut down a Firewolves offense. Went save for save with Doug Jameson, who was voted the #1 goalie, not named Christian Del Bianco, in the National Lacrosse League by GMs and coaches. The Rush needed that victory. They got it in overtime thanks to Austin Shanks. Shanks you very much. But I'm telling you, folks, this was a big Rush win, and Frank Scigliano, I think, is going to show a lot of people why he is still a very good regular season goalie. Because that was a gigantic win, and I don't know if I was shocked, but it was up there. And then came the game on ESPN2, featuring Brennan O'Neill, Mitch Jones, Jefferson Terrence, Holden Catoni, and the entire Callum Crawford and the Philadelphia Wings against the San Diego Seals. How'd they do? The San Diego Seals found themselves down 7-3 very early in that game. And then the Wings made took 3 of the dumbest transition shots I can ever remember watching in my life as an NLL fan. It was baffling to me how dumb their situational awareness was. And I know we've got some Wings friends, Fresh Fits champion Jefferson Terrence, Mitch Jones, who has a great impression of me. I love Brennan O'Neill, but godly day, y'all made Nick Damude look helpless. I felt sorry for that guy. How many times, there was a sequence in the game in the late, I think the 3rd or 4th quarter, where the Seals had 7 straight penalty minutes against them. They scored 1 goal. Wings scored nothing in that entire 7 minutes. That is unheard of. 7 consecutive minutes, and you could not score. Your opponent did. That's unheard of. Unprecedented. And then Ryan Benesh scored 5 goals. Chris Roglieri, they actually saw 4 goals in this game. We saw Nick Damude and Deacon Knott for Philadelphia. We saw Chris Roglieri, then Mike Poulin, then back to Chris Roglieri for the Seals. It was just a wild game, but Wings shot themselves in the foot. The Seals got momentum. I think both offenses are going to be very good this year. Alrighty, so that's that. There's your game recaps. That was a lot. When we come back, though, let's go rewind to the Saturday game with Dyson Williams and the Sunday game with Brennan O'Neill. Who looked better? How good are these guys? We'll be right back to Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUSTPODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, guess what? We have an audio-only podcast version of this show. Go to Spotify and search Daily Dive, or click the link in our social media bios. I've been told that I have a radio face anyways. Alrighty, let's get into this. How good are Brennan O'Neill and Dyson Williams? Devilishly good? Duke reference? Okay, cool. So, here's the thing. The Albany Firewolves lost 10-9 in overtime. How did Dyson Williams do? Well, he had 1 goal, 1 assist, took 9 shots, by the way, picked up 4 loose balls, had 5 turnovers. Not bad. Oh, and by the way, the shot that Dyson Williams had was a long shot. It looked pretty good. Brennan O'Neill, how did he do in a Wings loss? 1 goal, 3 assists on just 2 shots. In fact, his first shot fell, by the way. That was a driving around the corner, around the screen, and just diving towards the net. It was a beautiful shot against Chris Riglieri. He also had 1 loose ball and 1 turnover, but also, let's be fair, did not see a lot of time because the Wings are literally jacked on offense. Like, before I get more into this, I'm going to say this. There's a petition to the Wings. Get rid of one of your offensive players and add a defensive juggernaut. Because Brennan O'Neill showed he is way too good to sit on the bench for literally more than half the game. So I just want to tell it to the Wings GM, Paul Day, who's been so good so far. You got too many weapons, man. All I need to see is Callum Crawford, Joe Terrence. I need to see Brennan O'Neill, I need to see Mitch Jones. Some of them, like Blaze Reardon, freaking what's his name? God, Holden Katoni. One of those two guys. I love you, but man, the future is now. And your defense is still Swiss cheese sometimes. You got to get rid of one of those guys, man. Give Brennan O'Neill more time on offense. Because there was one play in the game where he went to retrieve a loose ball that was going over the timeline / midfield line. He slung it back, found Callum Crawford on a half-court dime. And Callum Crawford missed the shots. But as Nick Rosello said on the broadcast with Cooper Perkins, he was like, yo, that was about to be the assist of the weekend. This guy made his first shot. They had almost an amazing assist. The guy was incredible in the time that he got. So there's a petition out there. But who's going to be better? I hate doing this because they're probably best friends and stuff like that. We got to make it happen. I think Brennan is a better National Lacrosse League player going forward. I know Dyson's got the stick skills. I know Dyson's got the pedigree of being Sean Williams' son. And I'm not saying Dyson will not be great because he probably will be. But in a box lacrosse game, I'm shocked, and I'll say it again, how many people have had question marks about a guy who's physical. Like, this guy is so stinking physical. He's like Blaze Reardon with even better stick skills. This guy is so good at angles. I don't see how people are, well, he doesn't have a lot of box experience. Okay, and? Like, I know there's two different games, but my God, this dude is a menace inside. He's like Shaquille O'Neal with a Steph Curry range. That's what this guy feels like to me. Maybe that's exaggerating a little bit, but he looks good. Again, I would say every year we can alternate the drafts of who goes number one. Take Dyson one year, take Brennan the next year. But these two guys are going to be so good. And the best part is the Wings and the Firewolves are pretty close in proximity. So it's an easy matchup to have twice a year. We got to have Dyson and Brennan every year, man. That's got to be a thing. Because these two guys are so good. And the fact they both went to Duke, you can keep on milking that story for years. I love it. I love both players. But if I had to, like gun to my head, give me Brennan O'Neill. But again, they are both devilishly good. Satanically, what was I going to do there? Satanically amazing? I don't know. They look good, man. So, yeah, devilishly good. Dyson Williams and Brennan O'Neill. I think they were as advertised. I think, again, Brennan needs more time. Dyson's going to get a bunch of shots because he's on a great offense. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Alrighty. When we come back, it's time to hand out some awards. We're talking 3 stars of the weekend. It's back. It's better than ever. Who made the cut with some really good performances. But first, a word from our father. I'm kidding. It's okay, you get it.
What up, everybody? It's producer Joe, the baddest daddy in producing history. Here to tell you all about the baddest, daddiest merch store. Go to the link tree in the bios of either our IG or Twitter, and from there you can access merch for the only Monday through Friday live lacrosse talk show on the internet. I repeat, the only Monday through Friday live lacrosse talk show on the internet. We got hoodies for when your girl comes over and wants to cuddle. Just don't let her take it when she leaves. How about a baddest daddy cap for when you lie about how much you hate Mike in this show, but you're still here? We've got beanies so you can do that in the cold too. Guys, what's going to happen when all these moms see you dropping your kid off at practice in this thing? Want to sip like a daddy and feel like a baddie? Check out that mug. 6-time NLL champ Johnny T and savior of my Buffalo sports childhood knows what I'm talking about. Guys, I'm really going to need you to start buying shit because I'm getting sick of doing Instacart. But yeah, go check it out so you can start repping and supporting the brand. Producer Daddy out.
I think that went well. I think that went very well. That is the merch store. You got to check it out. Go to dillydivelacks.creator-spring.com or, like the man said, click the link tree in our social media bios. Okay. And I think that went well. And without further ado, it is time for 3 stars of the weekend. Here we go. Our third star, or at least important star, is going to go to Ryan Benesh with the San Diego Seals. Ryan Benesh scored 5 goals, 4 assists, and scooped up 6 loose balls in a game that, again, featured 4 different goalies. I think Ryan Benesh deserves a lot of credit for looking amazing, maybe scoring more than Wesley Berg this year. That's a real thing. Second star of the weekend, Connor Fields, my boy, my man. Hat trick, 7 assists, 10 loose balls, and 1 caused turnover. Adam Levy had a very interesting stat about 10 points, 10 loose balls, and 1 caused turnover. Has only been done a handful of times in NLL history. Yep. Hey, 2 years ago on this show, I said Connor Fields might be the best player in this game. He looks good, man. He looks good. And our first star, the man who locked it down in Albany, the Big Shigs, Frank Giuliano, 49 saves, 84.5 save percentage. I believe it was like 7 minutes left in overtime when that goal was scored. The guy was not allowing a darn thing. There are your 3 stars of the weekend. That was fun. Again, check out the latest NLL attendances article myself on 12 on Sports. And thanks again for watching this show. Be sure to follow us at Daily Dive LAX on social medias. And again, reminder for those of you who watch today's show, you're the bread, you're the butter, you're the Austin Shanks to my you. Shanks, you. Okay, you get it. If you tuned in for the first time, please come again and be sure to comment. For amazing guests like one's All Hype Up Month and ones to come, thank you for coming on this show, sharing your audience with us, giving us validity and relevance. For the baddest daddy in producing history and commercial making history, I'm your host, Mike, saying see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 12 on Sports. This has been Daily Dive.
Thanks for watching Daily Dive. See you next time.